Okay, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show, and welcome to another me promoting one of my YouTube channels, one of my 21 YouTube channels, bro. It's crazy how it's like I thought I was just gonna be done after 20. I was just like, no, I knew that was gonna happen. I knew I was just like, oh, watch when I get to 20, then that's when I'm like gonna really start thinking of all these different ideas and stuff. And sure enough, that's what happened. And then with one, I was just like, nah, I can like involve like the majority of the ideas like onto like YouTube channels that I already have created. But the food review channel, I was all like, nah, let me go ahead and create that as its own channel and stuff. I could have like involved it onto my main channel, but nah, I was like, I want it to be its own separate thing. Like I wanted all my channels to be its own separate thing and not have it all involved and stuff on one channel, because I'm like, nah, that's just doing too much. But anyways, and plus I'm like, it's like it'll be easier to upload, because my thing is that if I were to upload like, so let's say for an example, if I didn't have like all the ideas that I have for my YouTube channels, imagine if I was uploading videos for all of those channels on one channel. Do you realize like I'm uploading 21 videos? Like that's too much. Like if I were to do it daily, I'm like, nah, man. Well, I don't even do the other channels. I mainly just do my gaming channel and my main channel and my podcast dailies. But I'm like, still though, I'm like, that's just doing too much, all right? But anyways, the channel I was going to promote today is my review channel. That's some BS. If you guys didn't know, I have a movie review channel. But I talk like on movies, TV shows, literally everything. So that's why I'm like, I try to like maintain that channel, because I've seen like a lot of movies. I'm trying to like get into TV shows and stuff. I say I didn't really start getting into TV shows until I started watching Walking Dead. I had to say prior before that, I can't really remember myself getting into a TV show. Like it was like TV shows that's already have ended, or I was just like maybe watch like an episode here and there. I watched like a lot of cartoon TV shows, but like actual legitimate like Walking Dead or Breaking Bad or Prison Break, or it's like a bunch of TV shows out there that I didn't really watch that was on at the time, and I'm like, bro, what was I doing? But anyways, I should do like one review. I guess if we're gonna start it off. Yeah, let's talk about Walking Dead real quick, because I had did like another take of this episode, and I started off talking about military movies. Cause no, I was looking up Full Metal Jacket to see what they had in them socks when they were hitting that guy when he was tied to the bed. And there was like bars of soap. Like that's what they said it's either it's a solid object or a bar of soap. And I'm like, bro, that is some wild stuff. People are crazy, man. But anyways, now let's talk on Walking Dead. So I started watching that show like when it originally started and stuff. So it was like 2010. Dang, it's crazy to think that show came out 10 years ago. But anyways, hold on for a second. I got a text message from one of my friends. All right, I'm back. I just had to reply to a message. I'm one of those guys where I'm like, I got to reply to the message. Otherwise, it's going to sit on my head, and I'm going to get distracted because I'm thinking of, like, dang, like, I'm just leaving this person. Well, now I'm not leaving them on red, but I'm just like, I don't want that person to get the impression that I'm, what are the words I'm trying to ignoring? I was about to say annoying them. But I'm like, how am I annoying them if I'm not replying to the message? See, that's why I'm like, some certain words, they just shouldn't sound similar. Ignoring and annoying, I'm like, yeah, them are just two words that just sound way too similar and stuff. I'm like, they don't need to sound alike. But anyway, so talking about Walking Dead. So I started watching that show in 2010. So when it originally aired, and first episode, I was like, whoa, like that was pretty good. And my thing was that a zombie TV show, like, that's not going to be good. Nah. Because I grew up watching movies like Dawn of the Dead and Night of the Living Dead. And I think there was one called Land of the Dead. And that was like the zombie movie where they was walking underwater, I think. I think that was that movie. Yeah, it was. Because then they was like shooting guns. And yeah, and then Resident Evil. Resident Evil was pretty good. I liked that first Resident Evil. But what's that? I guess that can be counted as a zombie. Yeah, because they had zombies in there. But anyways, but I don't know. Because it's like when you play the game and then you see all the different things they got in there, you're all like, wait a minute, these ain't zombies. But anyways, but no, like when Walking Dead, when it originally aired, I was all like, yo, this was actually pretty good. So then it was funny. I straight up forgot about the show. And then was I think I was walking home with one of my friends. His name was Martin, and not Martin Lawrence. Like, nah, this is like some Hispanic kid named Martin. But anyways, he was asking me. He was like asking me, "Hey, have you been watching Walking Dead, or did you ever watch that TV show Walking Dead?" I was like, "Oh man, I sure forgot about that." I think like weeks done passed by because I was like, it was like 2 or 3 episodes that I had missed out on. So yeah, I immediately went home, watched the episodes, told my family about it, and eventually we were all hooked on the show. Like we were all watching this show like as a family, and I'm like, dang, bruh. Like, and this, I'm like, and this was just some random show on TV, and now all of a sudden it's like the show that I gotta like watch every Sunday. It's messed up though that show is coming to an end. I'm like, dang, man, I've been watching that show for like 10 years now, and I'm like, I didn't want it to ever end. I was like, I didn't think it would ever end. I'm like, to be watching this show since high school all the way up until now, like as a full grown adult. I'm like, I've like sat there. There's like one of my friends. Actually, it's Priscilla from Four Souls. Me and her, every time when that show comes on, Walking Dead, we're texting each other back to back, like, "Oh my God, what just happened?" Like, no, that didn't. And I'm telling you, like, what episode was it? And somebody had died, and I texted her, and I was just all like, "Man, I'm shaking right now." Like, there have been numerous episodes where I've texted her saying, "I'm shaking." I'm like, "Nah, I'm nervous because I don't know what's gonna happen." Like, that has been the only show I know that can cause me to shake being nervous. Like, I've never felt nervous watching. I've been like, I wouldn't necessarily say, nah, that's the thing. If I'm going to talk on like scary movies, I've never been scared watching a scary movie. I'm like, and it's been like demonic movies, like with that, like Exorcism, or like, for an example, The Exorcist. I was been scared watching that movie. Any movies like that, ghost movies, haunted house movies, any scary movie. I have to say, probably the only movie that did scare me when I was a kid was Signs. Because that movie, I was like, no, I had nightmares about that movie, so I was like, and I ain't watching that movie no more. But as I remember, there was one night I sat there, it came on TV, and I watched it, and I was just like, you know what? This movie wasn't that bad. I was like, I actually like this movie now. So I'm like, yeah, from like anytime I see when it's on, I'm like, I'll turn to it and watch it and stuff, because I'm like, yo, this is a pretty good movie and things. Like it's like mysterious. But I think just as I got older, I was like, if I had like some old crazy dream, I'll just wake up and be like, huh, that was weird, and then just go right back to sleep and things. But anyways, but yeah, I was like, Signs was like really the only movie that did it for me. I've been watching this like one scary show. There was that's what it's called Ghost Adventures. Priscilla from Four Souls, she got me into that show. I just recently, she told me about this one episode called The Domes, and I was like, nah, like this. After watching that episode, I'm like, nah, like this is too far crazy to be doing something. I'm like, I don't know how people be doing shows like that, like Ghost Hunters or Ghost Adventures or any of them shows. I'm like, I wouldn't do a show like that. I'm like, nah, we got to do like a comedy show or something. Can we like go to places where like, like comedy like related? Like we just tour around the world, but we just see like comedy stuff. Like I'm not trying to see like no ghost or some demonic, like, because in that episode, The Domes, they had it where they were seeing like they went to some place like I guess in Arizona, and it was like these like dome shaped like buildings, and they looked like UFOs a little bit, like UFOs connected to each other. So they go there and they're trying to figure out like what's going on, because I guess they say like all this like devil worship type stuff was going on there. So I'm like, okay, well, hands down, I'm bringing like holy water and Bibles. I'm just gonna have like 2 backpacks. I'm gonna have one backpack just full of holy water, like in just like in some like little bottles or something, and then in the other backpack is just gonna be that's gonna be my vest. That's gonna be like my demon proof vest. I'm like, nah, one backpack was just full of Bibles, other backpack full of holy water. So anyways, definitely wouldn't have went out. But then there was like other episodes I remember watching of that show that was crazy, and I'm like, man, I would never. I'm like, if them guys were to contact me and say, hey, we're gonna be doing this episode in Seattle, do you want to be involved and do like a YouTube video? I'm like, I quit YouTube. I quit today. Yep. Then I was like, I'm done, and I'll wait until after that episode aired and be like, you know what? I'm gonna get back into YouTube, because I'm not doing that episode. I'm like, nah, we're gonna have to go to a place like the least haunted place in the world, but we ain't going to some full on like there was like sacrifices. They said at them Domes place it was like sacrifices was happening of like chickens and dogs, and I guess they said it was a person that got sacrificed. I'm like, man, people be living a weird lifestyle. I'm like, there would be no way possible I would sacrifice no dog or no chicken, not even like even a person. I'm like, I ain't sacrificing nothing. I'm like, nah, that's crazy. I'm like, that's a lifestyle. I'm like, I just would not want to be a part of. But anyways, but yeah, I'm like, that was like probably the first. That TV show is like one of the first like TV shows I watched of like people going around doing that stuff. Cause for the longest I was like I didn't really see them shows like interesting. You know, they'll just hear like something go off and be like, what was that? What's going on? And when you actually watch the show, you're like, oh, this isn't actually bad. Like it's pretty good. Regardless, you know, if it's fake, then it's fake. If it's real, it's real. I don't really care. I'm like, it's still entertaining. You know, them giving off a backstory and then some stuff is happening. But I think they did say Ghost Adventures, like that stuff is actually like not thing. They go to places where like people have actually died and stuff doesn't happen. Because I think there was one episode I remember I watched where I think was it Ted Bundy? I think it might have been Ted Bundy, and there's like he killed some woman. Yeah, I think it might have been him, and it was I think it was because they said it was like in the '60s or something when this had happened. But he got a kid, huh? Rose Bundy. She has a Facebook? Nah. That is not her. That is not her. It's like some black woman in like a revealing top. That is not her. Ted Bundy's daughter. And there's people wishing her a happy birthday. I'm like, what am I looking at? That is so weird. That is some weird stuff. Who is she? Do they have like a photo of her? Yeah, it's like they're like holding a white daughter and things. And Ted Bundy's granddaughter. Huh. But yeah, it's like they're holding like a white child, and then you go and click on the profile picture of Ted Bundy's daughter, and it's like some black woman. I'm like, that doesn't even make any sense. So all of a sudden, she just became black as she got older, and I'm like, that makes no sense. But anyways, but yeah, I think it was Ted Bundy. They said it was like he killed some woman in this house, and they went there to like figure out what was going on. That was a crazy episode too. But it was like then there was like some other episodes that I watched. And I was like, yo, these are like some wild episodes. Then I remember I went over to Four Souls' house, and we were all like sitting down watching that show, Ghost Adventures. It was funny because I think it was in the first shout out video I talked about of theirs on my main channel. I talked about like how their dog scared me because it started scratching at the door and going crazy. And I was for certain, I'm like, yo, whatever we were watching on TV, that's like in their house right now. And I just got to like, you know, dive out their window and just run all the way home. I'm like, if you guys want to follow me, you can. But I'm saying like, I'm gone. I'm like, I'm out of here. So I had good running shoes that day too. I had these like Jordans on. So I was like, yep. I'm good. Well, actually, you know what? No, I had took the shoes off because I was like, I'm respectful when I'm going to people's houses. I don't be wearing shoes and stuff. But anyways, but yeah, I was like, man, that show is crazy though. It's a pretty good show. There was like one episode I didn't even get a chance to watch, and it was about like these these mines, and I guess they said it was like there's these like all these like workers died in these mines, and they were trying to see if they were hunted. I'm like, dang. They waited till it got like maybe like the beginning or halfway through the episode, and that's when they was just all like, oh, like you ready to go home? I'm like, nah, like wait a second, let me just watch this episode real quick. But anyways, nah, Ghost Adventures is a pretty good show. Walking Dead's a good show. What are some other good shows out there? Oh, I've been watching The Office. That show is funny. Like, man, I'm telling you, that is probably one of the funniest TV shows I've ever watched. The Office. I'm trying to hurry up and finish it before they take it off of Netflix, because I'm like, yo, and they take that off of Netflix. Like, at least I watched all the episodes, so I'm like, I am gonna care. But anyways, I'm like on this season 8, so I'm like, I just gotta go get through this season, get through season 9, I'll be good. But yeah, The Office, it's good. What are some? Oh, well, since I was like, because in the first take when I was trying to do this episode, I was like, got distracted. There's something happened. But anyways, where I messed up. I think I was like messed up on something that I was saying. But no, that's what I was talking about. Was military movies. And military movies, like, those are probably some of my favorite movies. I love military movies. There's like the last like recent military movie that I watched was 1917. That movie, that was probably one of the best military movies I've ever watched. Because that movie was good. That was a dope movie. I've never seen a movie, because they made it seem like that the whole movie was like one take. And so when they did like transitions, they would like show where like they're just like focus on some rocks, and then they'll just have it where they like camera is kind of like gliding or just moving across, and then they would switch it to where it's like nighttime. And I'm like, man, that's so sick. I'm like, that is no, 1917. They deserve. I think that movie did win an Oscar, and I'm like, no, they deserved it because I'm like that movie was just too good to not win no Oscar. But most of the military movies, they do be good. They honestly are. Like 1917, one of my favorites was American Sniper. That was about it was a based on a true story movie. I don't know if 1917 was based. I think it was based on true events, but I don't think it was based on a true story. But anyways, was it based on a true story written and blah 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 is partially inspired by stories told to Mendez by his paternal grandfather Alfred and about his time serving in okay, so it was like parts of it was but not all of it, but still though I'm like, yo, that's that movie was crazy. But no, American Sniper, that movie is based on a true story. It was about this real life Navy SEAL named Chris Kyle, and just like talking about like his time, because it was the 9/11 events that triggered him into joining the military. So he ended up joining, became a Navy SEALs. Ended up becoming one of the like craziest snipers out there and stuff. Like he had like all these like confirmed kills. I'm not gonna say that he was like he was like good at what he did and things, because you know he went into this war and he came back out of the war alive. So I am going to say he was a good soldier. But that was one thing that I picked up from the movie, where when people talked about how many confirmed kills that he got, because I think they say he got like over 100 and something confirmed kills. It seemed like it bothered him. Like he didn't like people talking about that. So that's why I was like, I don't know. Like I'm not gonna say he's like world's best sniper. It's just just I guess like out of respect for him and things, I just want respect like what I picked up and things from the movie. But anyways, yeah, it just didn't seem like that was something that he like people like other people would brag about and be like, oh, he got like 100 and something. And he just didn't, he seemed like he didn't really like care for it or something. So it's like but it did seem like it bothered him when people brought it up. So that's why it's like, yeah, it's that was crazy. But it was sad though, like it got because I had already knew of Chris Kyle like before the movie, because I think I had looked his name up when they were promoting the movie and seen that he was tragically killed like after he had left the military. So he was out like helping some like wounded veterans and stuff. And yeah, and one of the veterans was like, I think like something was like mentally wrong with them. And yeah, like waited until him and Chris Kyle got to the shooting range and shot and killed him, and then killed a friend of Chris Kyle's. And so I was like, man, it's messed up. It's really messed up. But yeah, and I think that guy, he's like serving life or something like that in prison. But anyways, yeah, I was like, it's like a sad, movie and stuff, and especially the ending, because then they ended up showing like his like the day that he of his funeral, and it was like showing how many people respected that man. He did a lot for the country and stuff. All soldiers do. All soldiers do. That's why I like military movies so much, because it's like really paying respects. Like even though it's a movie, it's like really paying respects to the soldiers that's overall putting their life on the lines, like protecting the country and stuff. So them the real heroes. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and end this episode. Thank y'all for watching. I'll probably do like more episodes talking on this, because I feel like that there's a lot more that I can discuss, like talking about my movies and TV shows and stuff. But anyways, this is kind of like an introduction episode, and all the other episodes that I did promote my YouTube channels, that's how it is for them too. But anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. If you're viewing this on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're viewing this on the podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. And if you're purchasing any tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It will knock $20 off your first purchase. And if you're purchasing any gear from Facilo, make sure you guys use my promo code TMossBoss, and it'll knock 10% off your next purchase. I have an ad on YouTube that shows like some of the gear, and there's also a referral link in the description of that video, and in the recent videos on my gaming channel, TMossBoss Gaming, and in my main channel, TMossBoss. So yeah, go check it out. Go check out SeatGeek and all that. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.